The journey of twin flames is unlike anything else. It's not a simple story of love. It's a divine unfolding, a union designed not just to heal personal wounds, but to awaken the soul and help raise the vibration of the planet. Within this sacred connection, each twin plays a role, mirroring the other's wounds and strengths. The divine feminine carries the intuitive, nurturing, receptive essence, while the divine masculine embodies focus, structure, and forward momentum. Together, they balance each other, harmonizing in love, growth, and truth. But before they can reunite fully in the physical world, in the dimension we call 3D, much needs to occur on an energetic and spiritual level. Reunion is not simply about being ready to love each other. It's about becoming the embodiment of the highest version of yourself, so that love can sustain itself within a human experience filled with challenges, distractions, and emotions. The divine masculine, often misunderstood, is not emotionless or detached. He feels deeply, sometimes too deeply to express. He watches, feels, observes, not just with his eyes but with his spirit. As he goes through his awakening process, often filled with silence, distance, or avoidance, he is not rejecting his counterpart. He is trying to understand her. He is trying to understand himself. And most of all, he is looking for a signal, something real, something stable, from the divine feminine that tells him it's safe to return home. So what is it that the divine masculine wants to see from his divine feminine to feel that readiness for union? What are the inner shifts and outer changes that call him forward? Let's explore deeply, layer by layer. Number 1, emotional stability and groundedness. Before the divine masculine can step fully into union, he needs to sense a feeling of emotional safety. One of the most powerful things the divine feminine can offer is the energy of stability. Not perfection, but groundedness. This doesn't mean suppressing emotions or pretending to be okay. It means mastering emotional self-regulation. It means feeling deeply without becoming consumed. It's about being able to hold space for yourself when emotions rise, rather than projecting those feelings outward in frustration, blame, or fear. During separation, the divine feminine often finds herself overwhelmed by longing, confusion, or impatience. These feelings are natural, but they're not meant to be handed to the masculine as burdens. He is not looking for someone to rescue or fix. He is seeking a partner who can weather storms without drowning in them, someone who knows how to hold her own energy. From the masculine's perspective, he senses energy more than words. When the feminine is spiraling in fear, obsessively trying to control the outcome, or lashing out because she feels abandoned, it creates an energetic push. It makes him retreat further because the connection starts to feel heavy and unsafe. On the other hand, when the feminine learns to sit with her discomfort, to feel her emotions fully, and then gently guide herself back to peace, she becomes magnetic. She becomes the calm in the storm. This inner mastery is what calls him forward, not because she needs him, but because she has found herself. In truth, emotional stability doesn't look like detachment. It's not about closing your heart or becoming cold. It's about showing up with love, even when things are uncertain. It's the ability to feel pain without letting it control your actions. And this is exactly what the divine masculine feels drawn to, the kind of strength that doesn't come from power, but from surrender. Number 2, inner union, the balance of masculine and feminine within. For the divine masculine to feel truly called into physical union, he needs to see that his counterpart has begun harmonizing the energies within herself. This means she is no longer fully identified with just the feminine, with nurturing, dreaming, and flowing, but has also developed her inner masculine, the part of her that sets boundaries, takes action, follows through, and creates structure in her life. When the feminine is only living from her emotional body, from intuition alone, without anchoring her insights into action, it creates an imbalance. She may be dreaming of union, envisioning the future, feeling the energy of the connection deeply, but not building anything in her physical life. She may struggle with discipline, clarity, or consistency. This can leave her in a loop of waiting, hoping, and longing, which creates stagnation. The masculine, being an action-oriented force, needs to sense that his counterpart respects structure and movement. He wants to feel that she is not just waiting for him to make things happen, but that she is actively co-creating her own path, that she is living her mission, expressing her truth, and being responsible for her growth. When the feminine starts making decisions that reflect her self-worth, when she follows through on her commitments, when she builds a life that feels abundant and whole, she becomes radiant. Her inner masculine comes alive, and with that, she becomes a mirror of balance. That's when the divine masculine recognizes himself in her. That's when he feels inspired to meet her where she is, because she is no longer waiting, she is leading, just as he is learning to lead himself. Inner union doesn't mean becoming hardened or overly rigid. It means being both soft and strong. It means listening to intuition and also honoring structure. It's dancing between receiving and doing, between being and becoming. And when the divine feminine embodies this harmony, the divine masculine can finally see the reflection of balance he's been seeking. Number 3, authenticity and vulnerability without expectation. One of the most misunderstood dynamics in the twin flame journey is the idea that the divine feminine must always be open and vulnerable to her masculine, that she must constantly express her feelings, reach out, or share her truth no matter what. While honesty is sacred, what the divine masculine truly craves is authenticity without attachment, vulnerability without pressure, truth without demand. There is a kind of openness that is beautiful, when it flows from the heart without trying to control or manipulate an outcome. This is the vulnerability that feels like love. But when emotional honesty is used as a way to trigger guilt, force connection, or provoke a reaction, it creates a barrier. It overwhelms rather than invites. The masculine wants to see his counterpart living in her truth. Not just when it's convenient, but always. He wants to see her walking in alignment with her values, not bending them to keep the connection alive. He wants her words to be clean, sincere, and free of the need for reassurance or reciprocity. This kind of authenticity requires courage. It means expressing how you feel without waiting for a reply. It means speaking your truth even when it's not understood. It means letting go of needing the masculine to validate your emotions and instead holding yourself in them with compassion. When the feminine learns to do this, her energy becomes clear. She no longer sends mixed signals. She doesn't say one thing and mean another. She doesn't reach out only to pull back. She doesn't give with the hidden hope of getting something in return. She becomes a safe place, a place of truth. And the divine masculine feels this. He knows he can trust this version of her, not because she is perfect, but because she is real. Number 4, self-devotion and personal mission. The divine masculine is deeply drawn to purpose. He may not always show it, but his soul is wired to move with intention. He is called to protect, to build, to lead. And he wants to see that same fire within his divine feminine. Not just a fire for him, but a fire for her life, her path, her calling. One of the most powerful signals that reunion is close is when the feminine begins pouring her energy into her personal mission. When she stops chasing, waiting, or checking for signs, and instead turns inward to discover why she is here, what she is meant to create, and how she is meant to serve. This is not about becoming busy or distracting herself. It's about discovering her soul's work and falling in love with her own journey. The masculine doesn't want to feel like he is the center of her world. He wants to see her shining in her own light. He wants to know that she has passions, dreams, and a sense of direction that is entirely her own. When the feminine shows up in this way, devoted to her healing, her creations, her joy, she becomes magnetic. Not because she is trying to attract, but because she is being herself fully. This is the version of the feminine that the masculine cannot resist, because she no longer needs him to feel whole. She desires him, but from a place of fullness. She is not trying to pull him in. She is simply walking forward in her light, and that light guides him home. Your personal mission may evolve over time, but it always leaves a trail of fulfillment. Whether it's creative work, healing others, teaching, writing, building something meaningful, the key is devotion. Not to the outcome, but to the process. When you become deeply devoted to your own soul, your counterpart feels it. And that devotion is the call that awakens his heart. Number 5, unshakable faith in the connection without obsession. Faith is the final thread, but not blind faith, not the kind of faith that keeps you stuck in fantasies or illusions. The divine masculine is watching for the kind of faith that stays grounded in reality, yet unwavering in trust. A faith that says, I know who we are, even if I don't know how or when we will reunite. This kind of faith doesn't chase, it doesn't beg, it doesn't demand signs every day or try to force movement. It is quiet, rooted, and still. It doesn't turn away when things get hard. But it also doesn't collapse into despair. It knows that love is eternal, and because of that, there is no need to rush. The masculine wants to feel that his feminine trusts him. Not the version of him that's always perfect, but the real him. He wants to feel that she believes in his journey, even if he's not moving at her pace. He wants to know that she can hold the connection without holding on to him so tightly that it suffocates them both. This kind of faith is rare. It's not taught, it's cultivated. It grows from deep inner work, from healing the need for constant validation. It rises when the feminine stops asking, when will he come back? And starts trusting that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. When she carries this faith, she becomes peace itself. Her energy becomes soothing, not frantic. Her presence becomes a sanctuary. And that is when the divine masculine feels the deepest pull, not toward her body or her words, but toward her soul, because her soul is telling him the one thing he needs to hear. You are safe. You are loved, and I trust you to find your way. As this journey unfolds, it's important to remember that reunion is not the final goal. It's just one moment in a much larger soul path. Your connection with your divine masculine is sacred, yes, but so is your relationship with yourself, your growth, and your own becoming. The universe did not create this bond to leave you in longing or confusion. It brought this soul into your life to awaken something inside of you that could not be accessed any other way. Something deep, something eternal, something powerful. In every quiet moment, every challenge, every breakthrough, you are being shaped into someone new, someone stronger, softer, more alive. You are learning to hold love in a deeper way, not as a possession, not as a fantasy, but as a living energy that moves through you. That kind of love changes everything. It heals what you didn't even know was broken. It brings clarity where there was once only fog. Reunion will come when the time is right, but it is not the only reward of this path. You are already receiving gifts. You are already becoming more conscious, more loving, more true. You are already closer to your soul than ever before. And that closeness, that intimacy with your spirit, will stay with you forever, no matter what happens. This journey is preparing you for a love that is not ordinary. It's preparing you for a partnership that will challenge you, stretch you, and elevate you. But to be ready for that, you must first become steady within yourself. Not perfect, not finished, just rooted. Trust that this journey is taking you exactly where you need to be. Trust that you are not being punished, delayed, or left behind. You are being guided. So if you find yourself in the quiet, if you're unsure of what's next, let that be okay. The stillness has its own wisdom. Things are moving even when you cannot see them. Energy is shifting, souls are awakening, and your divine masculine is growing, just as you are. In the unseen, there is preparation. And when the right moment arrives, it will be clear. It will be natural. It will feel like peace. You are not alone. You have never been. This love is held by something greater than both of you. Something timeless and divine. Let yourself rest in that knowing. Let yourself breathe, open your heart a little more, and allow life to move you forward. The reunion you're waiting for is already forming, not just in the physical, but in the energy between you. Keep your heart open, your spirit strong, and your light shining. Everything you are becoming is not in vain. It is leading you home, to love, to truth, and to a connection that was written in the stars long before you ever arrived here. And when it happens, when you and your divine masculine meet again in the flesh, it won't be because either of you forced it. It will be because you both finally remembered who you are, why you came, and how powerful your love truly is.